Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Sotah. We are up to Perek Aleph, Mishnah Vav. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'elu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbai, Veliyahu ben Burcha Israel, Chana bat Miriam, Sason ben Raya, and Yoshua ben Shifra, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen. And Avdir ben Chaim lechaim, v'derefua shelemav, Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betoch Shah Chole Israel. The Mishnah begins, Hayta mitkasa balevanim, mechasa bishchorim. If she usually wears white clothes because they are attractive, he dresses her in black clothes. And if she looks attractive in black clothes, he dresses her in ugly clothes. It is in these black or ugly clothes that are torn. The Sotah first puts on these clothes, and then the Kohen tears them, like we described in the previous Mishnah, as the Rambam writes in the Chut Sotah, chapter 3. If she is wearing golden jewelry, chokers, which are bands worn tightly around the neck to make one look plump, which was considered attractive in those days, earrings or rings on her fingers, they remove them from her in order to disgrace her. Afterward, meaning after her clothes are torn, he brings an Egyptian rope. An Egyptian rope is chosen because she behaved like the ancient Egyptians who were known for their morality. If an Egyptian rope is not available, any other kind of rope may be used. And he ties it above her bosom to keep her clothes from slipping off and leaving her entirely undressed. Whoever wishes to see the ritual may come and see it. Men are allowed to come, but women fulfill a mitzvah by coming, as the Mishnah will say below. Except for her servants and maidservants who are not allowed to attend, because she is emboldened by seeing them. When a person sees members of his household, he feels more confident, and she would continue to claim that she is innocent. All women are allowed and even directed to come and see what happens to her. Some say the Mishnah should be read as follows: all women are warned to see her. Nashim mutrot, not mutarot, mutrot, warned to see her. But again, our Mishnah says Nashim mutarot lirota, women are allowed and even directed to come and see what happens to her, so they will not follow her example. Shneimar, it says in Yechezkel chapter 23, verse 48, V'nivasiru kol nashim v'lo ta'asena kezimat tchena, and all the women will be frightened and stop doing your acts of immorality. The prophet predicts the destruction of the wicked and how those who see it will refrain from sin. That is the end of Mishnah Vav. Mishnah Zayin interprets its description of the Sotah's ritual to show how her treatment matches her suspected crime. The rest of the chapter gives other examples of the relationship between a deed and its reward or punishment. B'midah she'adam moded ba, modedin lo. The measure that a person uses is used for him, meaning God punishes and rewards a person in a manner that reflects his behavior. This principle is also known as midah keneged midah, measure for measure. God treats a person in this way so that he will realize that what happens to him is a reward or punishment from heaven and not some random happening. And furthermore, when one person sees another being punished measure for measure, he will be moved to examine his own behavior so that the same fate will not befall him. And this is evident from the treatment of a Sotah. She made herself look beautiful for purposes of sin. So the Almighty makes her look ugly by commanding that her hair be uncovered and untied and that her clothing be torn. She exposed herself for the purposes of sin. The Sotah went to a public place so that men would see her. So the Almighty exposes her by having her stand at the Nikanor gate and showing her disgrace to all. She started the sin with her thigh and then continued with her belly. She first felt pleasure in her thighs and then in her belly, the Rav explains. Therefore, so her thighs struck first and then her belly. When the Kohen curses her, he first says that her thigh will collapse and then he says that her belly will bloat, as it says in Bamidbar, chapter 5, verse 21. Now the commentaries explain that the water harms her in the opposite order actually. First her belly and then her thighs, since that is the order in which the water goes through her body. Her punishment is still considered to be measure for measure, because in the words of the Kohen's curse, the hearing of which is the beginning of her punishment, the thigh is mentioned before the belly, as Rashi explains in Masechet Sotah, page 9b. Ushar kol haguf lo falet, and the rest of her body, although not mentioned in the verses, does not escape punishment. And that is on Abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.